What's up, everybody? This is Chris, otherwise known as Music City Driver, and I am recording another video again while I'm driving because that's really the only time I have to record. Actually, I mean, it's just not very conducive to recording a video at my house because I've always got somebody asking me to do something or something. So, I have an 11-year-old son, and he loves YouTube, don't get me wrong. Sorry, this thing's beeping at me for some reason. But I have an 11-year-old son, and he loves YouTube, but for some reason he does not get the concept of, you know, leaving people alone to do a video. But anyway, I digress. So, this is sort of a weekend in review, aka Money Monday, which is what I used to do all the time. I do drive only for one platform right now, and that is YouTube. I drive for YouTube. No, I'm just kidding. Lyft is who I drive for. So, primarily, got my little amp here, turned it on for effect, but I usually don't. It's not on my dash right now. I'm on my way to work, my day job, which should get there hopefully about 9. But my lovely wife who works downtown, near downtown, told me that there's a massive wreck, and Google updated me as well and told me that there was a huge wreck on 40, so I'm probably going to hit Highway 100 to go into town. It's going to take me longer, but I gotta stop and get an energy drink anyway. I'm desperately tired from this weekend. So, it was nuts. Totally insane in Nashville this last weekend. It was honestly kind of weird because there wasn't anything huge going on, really. There were some concerts going on. People I didn't know. I don't know if you guys know or not, but I don't look like it, but I'm a absolute metalhead. So, the kind of music I love is not really compatible with the typical music scene in Nashville, which revolves around, you know, country and pop. And I call the new country pop too because it basically is. I don't really know a lot of names sometimes, and that is a disadvantage I have, and I've tried to remedy that. And I know some of the artists, some of the most popular artists like Florida Georgia Line, Keith Urban, and you know, all these, you know, singers and stuff, but it's just real hard for me to keep up with because I don't listen to that kind of music, and it kind of really annoys me and it bores me. So anyway, I'm pretty sure somebody was playing at the Marathon Music Works. There always is. There was I believe there was a Sounds game on Saturday. Of course, Saturday night was the last game, home game, and regular season game for the Predators, who won against the Chicago Blackhawks. Once again, Blackhawks have not been that great, and it's been kind of funny for me over the last few years because I've been a huge Preds fan since they came to Nashville. But anyway, they clinched their division with that game, and actually the playoffs start Wednesday here in Nashville against the Dallas Stars. So that's going to be huge. Wednesday, Saturday, I believe, are the two games here. Wednesday's game starts really freaking late, though. It's like a 9:30 game, 9:30 Central game. So that's going to be a late game. May not be able to drive for that one, but anyway, getting back to what happened over the weekend. I mean, there was a motocross thing at Nissan Stadium. There was thing about Nashville is, even if it doesn't seem like there's nothing going on, even if it doesn't seem like there's something going on, there is something going on. I mean, I know a lot of other big cities are like that too, but Nashville seems especially prone to that kind of thing. There's concerts everywhere all the time, big concerts, and there's conferences and conventions in town. I think that was part of what happened too. A lot of Northeastern and Midwestern and even West Coast colleges had spring break starting this last week, which is really late for us. We consider that late because our spring break here is already over, but I think that may have played into it. But anyway, regardless of the fact, it was crazy. I didn't drive that much last week. I only drove 3 rides before Friday night. And Friday and Saturday nights, I did not drive Sunday either. But between those 2 nights I had 46 rides on Lyft. I literally, on Saturday night, started about 4 p.m. was my first ride. It was a Lyft XL. And keep in mind that over this entire day on Saturday, I had 3 XL rides. 3. That was it. And I made over $400 on Saturday. $24 of that was dropping 2 guys off at Deja Vu. I don't know if you guys know about this or not, but I'll share you a little trade secret here real quick. If you go inside Deja Vu, you get these. And they are free passes. They take the cover charge off, but it's still, you still have to pay a drink charge, even though Deja Vu is BYOB. But you get $12 a person to bring them in. It unfortunately was not a full XL because that can net me $72. But it was 2 guys. They were gonna go to Crazy Horse, or not Crazy Horse. Crazy Horse. Yeah. Anyway, the other one. There's only 2 strip clubs in Nashville, for God's sake. But anyway, so I talked them into going to Deja Vu because number one, it's a lot easier to get in and out there, and I was more likely to get a ride over there than over there off of, you know, in the kind of sketchy part of, on the edge between South Nashville and downtown down there. You know, I mean, it's kind of sketchy over there. There's a reason they have a big giant fence around the whole place. But anyway, talked them into that, got that over there. But I did, like I said, 46 freaking rides. But anyway, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday night, there was not a single second that I was not on the Lyft app doing something, either picking somebody up or completing a trip. It was back-to-back stacked rides. I even had a ride that took me from Broadway all the way out to past Stuart Ferry Pike off of Airbnb out there. And then after that, as I was out there dropping them off, it was a two members of a bachelorette party. I had a request to go to the Nashville Shores Resort and pick up some people and take them all the way back down to Broadway. So there was not a single minute that I was not either on a ride going to pick up somebody, or I mean, I didn't have to wait anywhere. It was just constantly a stacked ride. Sometimes I would remove it before it was over, but you know, before the current ride was over. But and I had a ride challenge that I completed, and that's the only reason. I mean, I stayed out. Okay, so I started at 4 p.m. on Saturday. I'm not mentioning Friday a lot because I really didn't drive that long on Friday, but I made almost $200 on Friday too. So I had over $650 weekend on just Lyft, just driving 2 days. Well, I say a day and a half because I drove Saturday from 4 p.m. Saturday afternoon until I got home about 8 a.m. Sunday morning. So when the bars closed, I did have a semi-puker. He had me pull over a couple of times on the interstate. I was taking him all the way out to Hermitage. And he got a little bit on my door and a little bit at the bottom. But since I only drive for Lyft right now, and this is something to keep in mind, if you only drive for one platform, it's not ideal if you have a puker at all. Because, well, first of all, Lyft is assholes now. They want you to have a receipt showing that you had a professional detail it. Well, that's BS in my opinion, because most drivers carry supplies like I do in the very back to clean up messes, clean up the glass, clean up the leather seats, which I have leather seats, which helps me a lot, and clean up the door. You know, I have glass wipes for my windows, I have leather wipes for my seats, I have Armor All wipes for my dash and for the side doors and stuff like that. I have air freshener that I carry with me all the time, odor eliminating. There's other stuff I carry, chamois cloths, and you know, just anyway, it doesn't really matter. So the guy had me stop a couple of times, and I was like, dude, I have bags. He kept having me pull over on the interstate, which is not the ideal situation. You don't want to be pulling over on I-40 in the dark when we're close to the Hermitage exit, and it was raining and everything. But anyway, I didn't have to charge him a cleaning fee. I didn't want to charge him a cleaning fee because that would have ended my night effectively, because there's no way I could have gone back online. If you go back online, a lot of times Lyft or Uber will assume that the damage was not that bad and that you can still take rides. So it's not really impacting your income, because part of that cleanup fee is not just because you had to clean it up, but because of lost work or lost opportunity for work. because you're taking time out of your day to go clean somebody's vomit up. So, did not get that. I did have a friend who works in Nashville who had somebody kind of gross basically throw up nothing but liquor on his seat. As a result, he had to he reported it and got $150, but he had to do something a little more creative because the colors of his seats did not show it. But and that's part of the reason that Lyft does this. I mean, I'm not saying it was fake that what he did, because he did actually have somebody puke in his car. It just didn't show on camera. But it was soaked and smelled like vomit. So, you know, I mean, there's that. You can't pick up somebody with wet seat, soaked in vomit, that smells like vomit. What the hell is this guy doing? Sorry, this guy just suddenly slammed on his brakes and pulled over on the side of the road on Highway 100. But anyway, so, I mean, I don't have a screenshot to show. I usually do this in that BU video or whatever it is, so it shows the screenshot. I might make another video later doing that, but I just wanted to let you guys know Nashville's booming right now. So I know a lot of drivers will get mad at me for this. A lot of Nashville drivers will get mad at me for this because we have a lot of people that come from out of state and out of town in Tennessee. I mean, we've got people that come from Memphis, Knoxville, Chattanooga, you know, Birmingham, Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama, up in Kentucky, you know, Florence, Kentucky, and Paducah, and all these places. They come down here because we are ridiculously busy all the time. And here's the thing. I'm kind of the belief that if your city is not a rideshare city, if it is not very heavy there, number one, maybe you should try to make it a rideshare city. Maybe you should promote it more in your city and drive in your own city. Because I just don't see how it makes economic sense for somebody to drive 3 hours away, paid for food and gas, and stay somewhere. I mean, some people stay in their cars, which is the worst situation in my opinion, because, you know, anyway, I'm not even going to get into that. But I realize that there's a lot of money to be made in Nashville. But if you want to do the rideshare thing, either move to Nashville and do it here full time, or just promote it more in your city so that you have more opportunity there and you can do it. It's honestly not. I've struggled with this for a while because I have a lot of friends that are drivers in Nashville that absolutely and I do despise a lot of the people that drive in because they're unprofessional. A lot of them, they sleep in their cars and they stink and they don't know where the hell they're going. I had a passenger tell me over the weekend, actually it may have been my friend tell me this, I can't remember, but anyway, told me over the weekend that a driver came in from Birmingham. It was literally their second ride period. They had never driven for Lyft anywhere, and they're from Birmingham, and they decided to come up here and start driving in Nashville. That's not a recipe for success, in my opinion. I had tons of passengers telling me that they had drivers didn't know where they were going, you know, not being able to get them places on time, asking them for directions. And it's like, you know, most of the people that are taking rideshare in Nashville are not locals. That most of them are tourists. They're from out of town and they're coming to visit, and they're going to Broadway, and they're going to, I mean, the guys that told me they didn't know, the driver didn't know where he was going, were here for a hockey tournament that was being held at Ford Ice Center in Antioch. And I know that place well because my son played hockey there. But I know the city really well now after over 2 years of driving. I hit over 2,500 rides on Lyft. I had a passenger comment, hey, you have a 5-star rating, which I do. I have exactly a 5.0 on Lyft, which is not as hard to do as on Uber, which I have a 4.97 last time I checked. But she was like, I always see drivers with 4.6 and 4.5 and 4.7, but I've never seen a driver with a 5.0 rating unless they were brand new. And I was like, no, I'm not brand new. 2,500 and something rides here for Lyft. But there's a reason for that. And I'll get into that in another video. But just wanted to share with you guys, it's busy as hell in Nashville. We have officially, I believe, entered tourist season, and it's only going to get crazier because of the NFL draft coming at the end of the month. So this video went longer than I intended it to be. I'm going to have a couple of videos. I got 2 videos coming up, in fact. I want to give a shout out to the entrepreneur for giving me a shout out. Kevin has been somebody that I've consistently watched over these 2 years of driving, and a lot of people don't like him because sometimes he's negative, but you know what? There's a lot of negative aspects to this rideshare thing. So if you've got blinders on and think this is all a positive thing, then maybe you should reevaluate. I don't know. But anyway, love the entrepreneur. I also love, I don't know, I have a love-hate relationship with people like Rideshare Professor, who seems kind of fake to me sometimes. No offense, guy. No offense, Torsten. I don't like to be fake. I like to tell it the way it is. No filter. You know? So, anyway, the reason I'm giving a shout out to the entrepreneur is the next 2 videos I'm going to do. One of them is going to be about passenger safety. And it'll be more for the passengers, you know, and they are our livelihood with this particular gig. They are the ones who pay us. So their safety is paramount, and people need to pay more attention, etc., etc. I'm going to go into that, go into the thing that just happened recently, but there's been several episodes. And the second one I'm going to do is driver safety, which is important. And the reason I bring this up is because the entrepreneur very, very, very accurately put out a video today, or last night, I guess it was a live stream, about people seem to care a whole lot when a passenger is killed or hurt, but they don't give a crap about drivers being hurt or killed. And it brings to mind that we need to take measures to protect ourselves as well. And so I'm going to talk about that in 2 different videos. I don't feel like it's appropriate to talk about them both in one video. I feel like there's too much to talk about on either side of the issue to do it both at once. So I'm going to talk about that. And no, I'm not going to try to sell you a freaking lighted sign. That's one of the things that turned me off about the Rideshare Professor. Yes, he is trying to be entrepreneurial and release his own product and all that stuff, but I just found it to be a bit slimy. And I really don't care if this starts some kind of a thing. I'm not going to start a war with somebody. I don't care. I don't have time to go back and forth with somebody like the Rideshare Professor about his video content. I really don't care. I just found it to be in poor taste. But let's leave it at that. So you can flame me in the comments all you want about the Rideshare Professor, or the Rideshare Professor can call me out. I don't care. It does not matter to me. So if you're expecting a crazy incendiary reaction out of me, it's not going to happen. But anyway, so I just wanted to thank Kevin once again, the entrepreneur, for bringing that subject up, because it's a very, very important subject. And I'll go into some reasons why also, which were also, you need to check out Kevin's video if you haven't seen it. It was a live stream, like I said, but it has some very, very good points in it. And maybe the reasons why people don't care about drivers. So leave it at that. This video is way longer than I intended it to be. I do apologize about that. But if you did make it to the end, I really thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you are already subscribed, punch that little bell down there, the little Taco Bell looking thing. You'll be notified then when I actually publish a new video, so you can go watch it. But no, I do like getting the word out there. I do enjoy doing these videos, but I do need to get likes and comments and subscriptions and stuff like that. So anyway, guys, be safe. I'm gonna do a couple of videos. Like I said, I may actually I got hiccups for some reason. I may actually not do this until a day or two. Give me some time to plan it. I need to start editing my videos to make them look more professional, but I really haven't cared enough to do that. But I may just start doing that. But anyway, peace out, guys. If you're out driving, please be safe, be careful. And if you're riding, please be safe and be careful. So with that, I will say goodbye for the day. And like I said, I may do another video later actually showing my screenshots of what I made, just so people don't think I'm exaggerating things, because I don't exaggerate things. So have a good day and be careful. Hope everybody has a prosperous and safe day. Peace out.